What's up, y'all? If you guys haven't been paying attention to the New York City mayoral election, it is insane, dude. The three guys, Andrew Cuomo, Zoran Mamdani, and Curtis Sliwa, are hilarious, and the debates are amazing. But Andrew Cuomo might just be the biggest fucking loser in politics. And I've never been more convinced than 6 days ago when he went on the Impulsive podcast. Impulsive with Logan Paul, of all people. Now, I saw a bunch of clips from this on Twitter, and it's so hilarious. And then I was like, okay, I want to go see what this video is like. So I went on Impulsive. This is me scrolling for like a long time. This is the least viewed video of the Impulsive podcast they've ever made. Look at this. Let me get down here again. Look at this. Ridiculous. How are you that much of a loser? So after seeing those clips, I was like, I want to fucking show some people this shit and talk about how much of a fucking loser he is, because he also just lies constantly, and he has no no charisma at all. So I'm gonna watch a bit of this. We'll go to the funny clips. I'll chop it up for you guys so it'll be entertaining. But let me know if you like this kind of video. I don't know what I'm gonna do on this channel, but commentary might be fun. So let's get into it.
Mr. Cuomo, I just want to get this right. I want to get it right. I think you're a very important person.
Oh, is he?
Special guest. Thank you for joining us today. It's an honor, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Cuomo.
Okay. Okay. Am I crazy? Does Logan Paul look a little stoned? Okay. Never mind.
Thank you.
We'll keep going.
Man, how you feeling?
Well, I'm in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Political ring, but it's like a boxing ring, wrestling ring. We're getting down to it. We have about 10 days to what they call early voting. In New York, we have a period of early voting. November 4th is the election. So on one hand, you feel relieved that you're coming down to the end, right? Because it's a long process. On the other hand, as you know, the anxiety goes up.
He comes across so like disingenuous, like at all times, and it's such a talent. He never looks like he's confident with what he's saying.
The tension goes up, the attention goes up, and that's where we are now. I have a debate tomorrow. These two debates left. The debates are very important. People tend to start to focus the last couple of weeks, right? They watch the campaign with one eye as it drones on, but last couple of weeks they start to focus. So this is an important period now. And it's just a 24/7 period, right? You're just out there touching as many people as you can, as often as you can.
Doing what?
Podcast with YouTubers.
Yes, sir.
I think we should
Doing what? Hold on. Andrew sexual assault Cuomo? You
set up
can't
a
be
little bit
saying
of
that,
context
bro.
here as well. Like this New York City mayoral
Come
race
on.
is highly contentious, highly.
Just so you guys are aware, Andrew Cuomo served from 2011 to 2021. 2021 isn't usually when the fucking term would end. He had to resign in disgrace because of his fucking allegations, controversies. The JCOPE started investigating a publication deal. Okay, this is another one. Wait, where is it? Oh, there's... Okay, here are these. Okay, look at this. On December 13th, 2020, Lindsey Boylan, a former aide for Cuomo, who was a Democratic candidate for Manhattan borough president in 2021, alleged Cuomo sexually harassed her for years. Many saw it and watched. Boylan, you fucking get it. I don't want to get too far into the it's bad. He's a bad guy, horrible guy. Let's keep going.
Talked about between you and Zoran. I'm gonna mess this up so many times. Say mamdani.
See, I don't get this. Right? Okay, here we're going full screen for this. It's not that hard to say Zoran. That's all you gotta say. That's probably not even how you say it, but just say Zoran. Zoran. Mom Donnie. Just look at it. I guess some people can't read.
And going into this,
the mic guy from my past experiences, from what I've seen in clips, the mic guy seems cool. How can you not okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Election, I think where are we at from at least a speculated polls standpoint right now?
You have three people in the race, so
Yep.
you're splitting the vote. Mamdani is the lead. I'm second. There's a Republican candidate who's third. If
Bro, dude, do they not know anything?
on a three-person race, Mamdani has the benefit. If the Republican drops out of the race,
Here we go.
or his vote is
This fucking
compressed,
loser.
he gets a fairly minimal vote because people don't see him as a viable candidate, then we're looking at a head-to-head race.
And we did also just have Mayor Adams drop out, correct? Which based on a potential endorsement in a direction would also influence polling as well, correct?
That would also make a difference. But you're right. Mayor Adams dropped out because he didn't want to be a spoiler in the race.
Oh yeah.
This race is different, as you said, because elections are normally between two people, Jack and Jill. Who do you like better, Democrat or Republican? Even this is, but a question of philosophies, right? I am a Democrat. My father was a Democrat. I worked for Bill Clinton. I'm a lifelong Democrat. Mamdani is a socialist. They call themselves democratic socialists, but he's a socialist. And there's a National Socialist Organization.
Whoa. Hold on. Just Graham Plattner, all right? Not okay. I'm kidding.
And he's a member of that. There's a statewide socialist organization. So it's a question of, are we a capitalist country, capitalist city, or a socialist city? And that is night and day, that difference.
Can you break that down, what that difference is
Hey, that's a
for
good question.
our audience who may not actually know the nuances of what that means?
Dude, that's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Logan Paul.
If you, by their policy, they are
Dude, he's gonna make it sound so cool. Watch.
heavily influenced that the state should control and basically equalize assets among people in society. So government should control the means of production, all right? Not private sector companies. They're against private ownership of land. Government owns all the land and allocates land for housing, which is the exact opposite of America, right? American dream, I want to own my own home, my own backyard. No.
Hold on 1 second. American Dream. 1 second. American Dream. We're gonna talk about the American Dream. This guy is a son of Mario Cuomo. He's a Nepo baby. This guy doesn't know shit about the American dream. He doesn't know shit about working hard. He's a Nepo baby. And he won't even admit it. Maybe if he'd admit it, we'd respect him more. Fuck this guy.
Government would own all the land. Very high taxes on the rich as
Yes,
a
sir.
way to equalize income distribution. To try to get income equality by using the tax code. Government provides basic services to everyone, regardless of income. Government provides transportation. Government provides childcare. Government runs food stores. So it's a government-driven society as opposed to a private sector, entrepreneurial cap.
It's always so funny how elected representatives use this argument because he's about to say like his whole point here, because what he's describing probably sounds cool to people who like the government or would have trust in government, like me, who would hope that our government would be more ran by the people at some point. He kind of just assumes that people will always hate government and government will never be actually controlled by the people. See, that's the difference with socialism, right? Is the government, the state, should be an actual democratic state where people have a say. That's the part he's missing out. He's just saying government. And we're supposed to think about it like our government is now. But it's like, the whole point of government is consent of the governed. We are supposed to like our government, trust our government, and elect people we trust to do good things. So, like, This, if you could dream slightly, sounds so sick. What is he even saying this for? I feel like little kids are just gonna see this and be like, "That's pretty cool."
Capitalist society.
What is the benefit of having a private sector society as
Dude.
opposed to a state-driven society?
Private sector society.
Logan Paul is cooking. That's a great question. Like, I know it's not partisan, but like, it gets Cuomo to talk, and he's horrible at talking.
Society is capitalist society says government provides certain benefits to all, public education systems to all. Government will help you if you're really poor and you're really sick because we have compassion as a society.
Oh, we
But
do.
your success is dependent on what you do. And we don't cap
Success is dependent on what you do. Why are you successful? Fucking piece of shit sexual assaulter. Why do you have anything? Maybe it's because you lucked yourself in and you were born to Mario Cuomo, who people seem to actually respect. I mean, I wasn't old enough to be around, but from what I've read, he seems to be a way more respectable guy than this fucking asshole.
your success. You know, if you work really hard and you're really talented and you do really well, God bless you. There's no limit. We're not going to limit your success. That's the basic rule of capitalism.
So why is Mamdani currently leading the polls?
Dude, he's
He
cooking.
does very well.
Thank you, Logan.
Well, right now he's the Democratic nominee because he calls himself a Democratic socialist. He ran in the Democratic primary. He won in the Democratic primary. In this city, if you're the Democrat, you automatically get X percent of the vote because it's a 70% Democratic city by enrollment. And there are people who, if you're
Yeah, and who did he beat to win that primary? You know, he's so bitter. It's that.
you're a Democrat, you just vote Democrat. You're a Republican, you just vote
Lifelong
Republican.
blue voters.
Yeah.
And
Period.
I think I'll be a devil's advocate on a lot of things today. I think
W.
one of the reasons why Mamdani is having the success he is, and you explain the difference between socialism and capitalism, but truthfully, the capitalistic approach in New York City lately has not been working. At least in the way the system has been set up. Rent prices are out of control. There's a lot of factors and a lot of things that are pushing people into the concept of looking in a new direction and whatever that direction is. And so, like, when you look at the policies in this mayoral race, I hate that freaking word. Rent control, Rikers, you know, there's a couple mainstay topics. Where do you differentiate on a policy like rent control? I know you wanted to freeze some of the stabilizations. Where does your policy differ from his?
Yeah.
Okay, before he answers, this is an amazing question because Andrew Cuomo is about to completely fumble. I haven't seen this part yet, but he has no policy. He's about to say some bullshit, dude. He's a horrible communicator.
Without getting into the weeds, first, you're exactly right. But it's not a New York phenomenon. It's a national phenomenon.
Correct. Yep.
By the way, it's the phenomenon that Donald Trump touched, right? You have a middle class in this country that feels trapped. You have a young generation that feels trapped, right? That they can't find a way to break through. They can't find a way to make it. I was told to go to college. I go to college. I have college debt. The job I get doesn't even cover the college debt. I don't see how I'm ever going to get to where my parents were.
The rat race.
Right. And that alienates a whole sector of society. And you have that in New York also. They call it the affordability crisis. If you are middle class, it is very, very hard to live in this
And
city.
how do we fix that?
Rents, number one.
Who could that be? It's a hotel room, private hotel room.
But everything is expensive, right? Restaurants are expensive. Food is expensive. Transportation is expensive. Everything is expensive. And you're feeling pressure. And he has appealed to that need.
Because what is your solution, dude? People don't ever, like, what is his solution? This is the problem. This is why Donald Trump won in 2016. This is why Donald Trump won in 2024. he at least says we're going to do something about it. This guy just says, yeah, it's bad. That's his whole platform.
That feeling with what I consider very simplistic solutions
Oh,
that
yeah.
would never work, but at least he's talking to them. He also was very good on social media.
He's very good on social
Yes.
media.
Yes.
He's basically a content creator.
Well, he's younger. He's he speaks very well. He's a
Hotter.
likable enough guy. How old is 33?
33 years old.
Yeah, he's young.
he
Stronger.
is. Yeah, his mother is a noted film director. He was a rapper,
He's about to hit the Nepo baby line. I'm calling it.
artist, and he had very good social media presence. Captured the imagination. He was great on TikTok. Connected with the younger generation. He's only 33. Generational shift, fresh face, blah blah blah. And that shtick, if you will, you're in New York. That's a New York expression, shtick. That shtick works in politics, right? And especially nowadays, a lot of people don't get into the substance. They don't want it. It's too technical. Who has the time, right? Nobody reads anything more than a tweet. So he has great slogans. Freeze the rent. Freeze the rent. Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Yep.
He's going to freeze my rent. Yeah. Now, if you read the details, you find out that he's not really talking about you and your apartment. He's only talking about a sliver of the market. But freeze the rent sounds good. Fast free buses. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Fast free buses. Everyone wants a fast bus. What do you want, a slow bus? Fast free buses. Yeah, that's good. I'm down for that.
Childcare.
Free childcare. Grocery run store. Government runs grocery stores.
That's the I'm sorry, that's the craziest one. To
That is
me,
the
that's the wildest one.
Yeah, that is the craziest.
That's fair.
Well, the concept is crazy on that one because it's
Dude,
that government is now
I really thought they were going to hit the Nepo baby.
going to go into the
He'll hit
grocery
it at
store
some point.
business, and somehow they're going to be so efficient and effective in the grocery store business, the prices are going to be lower than private stores, which government can't figure out how to fill a pothole. Now they're going to go into the grocery store business. Like, give me a break.
I've been on I-95 during construction. I know what gets done and what doesn't.
So, but it sounds like something, right? It sounds like it's an idea, something different. I want something different, and that sounds different. So you don't even get into smart or not smart or real or not real.
It's just cool conversation. The difference that I think of immediately when I think of the mayor versus the politicians that we talk
You see Logan Paul, bro?
about more often.
He's like looking off in the distance, like, wait, what does he actually plan to do? Actually, no, he's not thinking about that shit. He's probably thinking about money, bro.
Often, which is at a government level, and they are these talking heads, these personalities, these characters that people buy into. The difference in New York City is the mayor of New York City has to govern. You actually have to get out there and you have to govern this city. People don't want to be stabbed. They don't want to walk on rats. They want to feel safe in the city. He's a very, like I said, he's a very likable 33-year-old guy with zero experience.
Yeah.
With no experience to actually govern.
Oh, here we
And
go.
this
Here we
isn't
go.
I don't live here. I live in Los Angeles. I have no reason. He lives in Puerto Rico, right? So like, this is just, I just am watching this race. I'm intrigued by it. But like, how
so
much does
bored.
the fact that he does not have the experience affect his ability to govern this city?
Yeah. Well, it would be determinative, but you are exactly right.
Here it is.
So he's good on TikTok, attractive, etc. If you're choosing a legislator, frankly, you're voting for a state assembly person, senator, you're voting for a congressperson. Legislators, they articulate, they argue, they vote on the bill, they don't vote on the bill. Mayor, governor, these are different jobs. This is a different skill set. You're talking wrestler versus boxer. An executive, you have to run stuff. You are a manager. You're accountable. It's not rhetorical. It's reality. Any given morning, you can wake up and there's a mass shooting any given morning. There's a hurricane, there's a flood, there's a fire. God forbid another terrorist attack. God forbid COVID. And you have to know what the hell you're doing. It's 300,000 people. It's a $115 billion budget. 33-year-old never managed more than 5 people. Never had a real job. You know,
Never had a real job.
just think about it. And it's life and death.
Never had a real
Because
job. Never had a real job. Never had a real job. This is your dad, bro. You would never be anywhere without your father. And me too, I guess. None of us would be here without our fathers. Sorry, bad point.
If you don't know what you're doing or you make the wrong call, people die, right? And New York City is a national target and an international target, right? So it even compounds the mayor's job in New York City. And this is a complicated, dense, conflict-oriented place. So knowing what the hell you're doing actually matters. It's not normally in the political discourse, but it should be the first question, right? You go for any job application, the first thing they say is, what's your experience? What are your qualifications? Not in government, you know?
Hey, quick shout out to the Four Seasons. They gave us. Is this something where he could learn on the job?
No,
No.
no. It's like saying, step into the ring with Mike Tyson when he was in his prime, and you've never boxed before, but you'll figure it out along the way.
Is he calling him? Never.
Well, you won't figure it out along the way. You'll never get out of the first round,
Yeah.
right? There is no on-the-job training.
So it sounds like you certainly seem like the safer candidate. Perhaps I'll use that word if you're comfortable with it. It's the safer candidate, but I feel like people are kind of at this point in history willing to take that like high risk, high reward
That's a good point.
type gamble. Do you think that's what's happening?
There is a sector that is this election. You're exactly right. That's the tension. There is a sector of society that says, I don't care. It can't be worse. It can't be worse, right?
Yeah.
There's no shot on the pool table. Just hit the rack and see whatever the hell happens. It can't be worse. He sounds like he's going to make dramatic change. Let me try it. That's option A. Option B is, hold on a second. This is New York City. I think you have to know what you're doing. There's a level of experience that you need. There's a level of qualification. And that's too risky for me. And that's the A and the B.
I wonder where people land, man, because I feel like right now, people are closing their eyes and shooting the rack at this moment.
Well, I mean,
in
you
history.
kind of saw it with our presidential election. I think people were willing to take a risk in his initial victory and on someone that had no political experience per se, and talked the way they wanted him to talk and had the ideas they wanted him to have. And New York City being such a progressive city, you end up in a place where potentially people are willing to take that risk again.
I was gonna say it may help if you painted like a worst case scenario.
Oh, I wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you like I like to gamble. I like to close my eyes and shoot the pool cue. But I don't if then I miss every ball and I lose the game.
Well, and die. Or taxes, or
That's right.
go through the roof or whatever.
Yeah, and so like until people are there, and then they'll look back and be like, oh man, we should have made the safer bet. So perhaps being able to paint what that future.
The thing is, I don't actually think that would do anything because I feel like at this point, with how bad things are under Trump and how much worse they feel like they're getting, everybody feels like shit right now. And if you are still not understanding that, you need to go talk to somebody. But like, even if he paints a worst case scenario, he has no policy that he's running on. Like, people would rather even have worst case scenario than status quo at this point. You see what I'm saying? It's like why would anybody vote for Andrew Cuomo? And obviously, like the billionaires and like the richer people and the fucking uh, people who are scared of the word socialist are gonna vote for Andrew Cuomo. But people, especially young people, why would you ever vote for Andrew Cuomo? Like, even if he says, "Oh, this is how he could destroy the city," and Donald Trump's gonna withhold funding, and everybody in New York City who's rich is gonna run away. I assume that's what he's gonna say. They're all gonna leave Manhattan. It Even if that happens, at least something changes. People are tired of the status quo, man. They're done with it.
Could look like in a situation. You described some of the things that he may, a mayor of New York might have to deal with, and some of them fully sound nightmarish. Like, I can't imagine waking up one morning and having to deal with, like,
9/11.
yeah, I mean,
Dude, it's so Islamophobic. It's like, what? You get a Muslim mayor and then 9/11 happens again? Where's the connection other than a Muslim mayor? That's the only connection. Why would socialism lead to 9/11? What?
I don't even know what to say there. So,
What?
like, maybe paint that picture of like,
I mean, unless you subscribe to the idea that Israel did it, then maybe. But
what reality could look like, and what someone with little experience would have to be dealing with.
Yeah, Logan, I think you're exactly right. And people sort of get their
so many 9/11s, communist 9/11s. Okay.
naturally, but there are two quote unquote worst case scenarios. First, on those economic policies, he would raise taxes to the highest in the United States of America.
What
right?
what are we looking at?
16%, just state and local before you get to the federal government, right? Now, 16%,
Wait, where did you get that number? Isn't it 2? I thought it was 2%.
I can move to Florida and pay 0, right? I can move to other states and pay 0. So now I'm going to pay 16 points just to wake up here.
What is the max now at this current moment?
Now the max is about 11.
Got it. Do you
So-
think that 5% could equate to this exodus
Oh.
that has
You know,
been?
because it's been building, right?
Yeah.
Now, first of all, post-COVID, you have an exodus from cities anyway.
Yep.
And people are more mobile, so they are shopping cheaper places to live, right? People leave California, go to different states.
Miami.
Yeah. So that has been happening. That would accelerate. You lose more businesses, you lose more revenue. And then there's the what Logan was talking about, managing this city crisis, yes, but then just day to day. Every day is a crisis in this city, right? You're managing the largest police force in the United States, one of the highest crime rates, and every day somebody dies or could die. And if you don't know what you're doing, and crime is out of control because you don't believe, part of the socialist thinking, by the way, they de-emphasize the need for police and law and order. They want to reduce the police, defund the police, reduce the number of jails, that we are overly strict in enforcing laws.
I don't understand this particular one. This one seems crazy.
This is like an individual liberty.
Okay.
thing.
It's just because they don't actually listen to what Mamdani's saying, but like he's about to lie to them because he can. But if you guys don't know, his policy is that he wants to add more social workers instead of police. Like he's just that's what he's trying to do. That's not even crazy. I would hope he would go further, personally. But like, what? How can that be bad?
Police are used by government to oppress people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So reduce the police because it's a tool of government to oppress people and infringe individual liberty. But to a crazy extent. Their DSA platform says reduce police down to 0. No new jails. Release people from prisons. Just really crazy stuff. No misdemeanors. Misdemeanors would be eliminated. Misdemeanors would legalize prostitution. Assault is a misdemeanor. So they wouldn't enforce any misdemeanors. So the crime rate would go way up, which in and of itself is a major problem because that would then fuel the exodus. So the consequences are very big here.
So safety's at play. People's perception of the city's at play. And by the way, I want to reiterate, like me being in California, him being in PR, no ties to this race. Like we sat down with you the same way we sat down with Trump, and we extended an offer for Kamala to come on the show. She didn't. We would extend the same offer to Mamdani to come on the show to defend his positions and to have this argument in a place where we're not a pick a side type of show, just asking questions. I want to talk about crime and Rikers especially a little bit, but before that, you've talked a lot about policies, and for people in the city and people in the know, policy is in the zeitgeist and is the main portion of the discussion. But I want to hit on a little bit of a more exterior and potentially darker point. Do you think that his religion, being Muslim,
here we go,
comes into play at all in the idea that potentially the people of New York City are not ready for a Muslim mayor?
No, I think the Muslim community, which is quite big in New York, is actually very excited about the potential of having a Muslim mayor. As the Italian community was excited about having the first Italian mayor, and the Jewish community was excited about having the first Jewish. I don't think that's a factor. I think to the extent there's a religious factor, you have more anti-Semitic incidents in New York City.
Shut the fuck up!
City in the United
Shut the fuck up!
States,
Nobody cares.
Is shocking to me.
Yes, and who fucking perpetuates that? AIPAC funded Andrew Cuomo? Who perpetuates anti-Semitism? Is it Zoran Mamdani or AIPAC? Which one?
But that's the religious, and that was inflamed, obviously, by the Middle East. And we all pray that this peace holds. And President Trump and his administration should be commended for what they did.
Dude.
And what they've achieved.
Why are you like this? He's such a pussy.
So hopefully that brings down the temperature. But to the extent there has been religious tension, that's what it's been about.
And obviously, like it's so apparent that there has been this rise of anti-Semitism without having to give a rationale or a reason for why it exists, and it's become so prevalent online and on X and so many other places. New York City has a massive Jewish community. Do you think
maybe there'd be less anti-Semitism if Israel wasn't doing a genocide in the name of Jews? Just a thought.
I think Mamdani will put kind of extinguishing those current fires and the safety of the Jewish people in New York City at a forefront as a priority?
No, he's done the opposite. The Middle East issue, the Gaza issue is very controversial. And he is very much pro-Gaza. He has been very outspoken against Israel in the situation. So no, I think he believes it, and he's been quite outspoken about it.
So other than rent, which I guess I think everyone would agree that even if you're not from here, when you look at rent prices in New York City, they're insane. It's absolutely out of control, right? And that's pretty obvious to anybody looking in. What would you say is like the next issue that's of the utmost importance in this race?
Well, rent ties into affordable housing. Why don't we have housing? Because we don't build housing. Why don't we build housing? Because government is slow and incompetent.
Okay, is he taking the abundance stand?
And to me, that's
Are we gonna
the
get
root
policy?
cause of a lot of this, and a lot of the frustration, and a lot of the alienation.
Dude, is he going to talk about policy? Please talk about a solution, man.
When you go back to, we're not really picking people based on qualifications.
Here
we
we go.
don't really know what an executive is supposed to do. And yeah, we hire people for mayor who have no experience managing anything, which we have done in New York City many times, as other cities have. Yeah, then they don't know how to do the job.
Dude, he's so fucking dumb. Why would anyone vote for a guy who has not spoke once of his own policies? Has he said anything? Can anybody give me one policy, please? Please, I need a Cuomo Glazer in the comments to tell me right now what this guy wants to do.
And then government doesn't accomplish anything. And then the frustration actually goes up because you're not making any progress. And that's what galls me. You know, it's not just we should have been smarter in our decision making. Ultimately, what happens is the people aren't qualified for the position, they don't do the position, and now everyone is hurt and everyone is more frustrated with the entire process.
Let's see. Andrew Mark Cuomo. How did you lose your thing? In March 2020, a directive from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services stated that nursing homes should admit anyone they would normally admit, including people coming from hospitals where COVID-19 was present. Cuomo and the New York State Department of Health then issued an order on March 25th requiring the admission of patients regardless of a COVID test result and prohibited nursing homes from conducting tests on prospective patients. New York became the only state to prevent testing in this way. By the time this order was undone, on May 10th, as many as 4,500 COVID-infected patients had been sent to nursing homes. More than 6,000 New York State nursing home residents died of COVID in June 2020. This guy killed Jay Schlatt's grandma and maybe yours. And he wants to talk about a second 9/11 and nothing about what policy he wants to enact. Honestly, I'm done with this fucking podcast. You get the point. Andrew Cuomo is a fucking loser. And people clearly don't want to watch this. Dude, I literally don't recognize any of these names. God, he's such a loser. Anyway, I'm done. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. I love to make fun of idiots who are clearly acting in bad faith and paid for by the establishment. So remember, question authority. I'll see you guys.